I've got quite the story to share with you all, and no, it's not of Trevor's vasectomy.
Whoa! Dude, I love gay people now!
No, we're a good guy. We're trying to save the kids. Look, we're saving you! Saving!
Okay, so I was born in... currently live in Mount...
Welcome back to what I believe will be the finale of us talking about Black Clover.
If we somehow get 35 minutes out of what we have left, I will be so impressed.
Last time we talked about the arguable best fight in the series. That's where we ended off with Magna
It's our
fighting.
consensus anyways. It's our consensus.
Yeah. And now we are moving on to the... Oh my god, how many people joined in the fight against Vanica and then Magicula?
Who didn't?
So, I don't want to talk about the fighting too much. I would recommend just reading the fights, like parts of the fights, but to talk about the story beats, I think now after seeing it makes... I feel better with the whole Magicula showing up and like cursing Noelle's mom thing. I think it works well enough, and it gives a reason as to why Nozzle was just very distant and wanted to, like, was always demeaning Noelle just to sort of try to keep her safe.
I mean, just
Not
like
the-
with other things we've said in this arc, it works well. It's a good plot point that is developed well throughout the arc and has some good payoff and is enjoyable. But it's held back by everything before it.
Yeah.
It's the implementation of it during the heart where it's just like out of nowhere, like, oh yeah, Magicula and all that. It's all that stuff before it that holds Maid Kingdom back from us saying like, yeah, no. I mean, obviously we can say this is a really good arc, but it's Black Clover as a whole, you know.
And not only that, the fact that she had, I forgot what the name of it was, but this weird ritual to revive early enough, like. And I get it, you establish rules, break them for like big surprises. I just didn't really care for a lot of Black Clover's rule breaking and Spade Kingdom, where
especially because they did it so much during the ending.
At some point, it's just like, don't even listen to what they're saying because it's not even gonna end up sticking. Like the Tree of Cleofoth, where it's the only way to open up the double gates. Turns out they can just accelerate an ancient ritual or whatever. And then with Magicula, like the fight was good. Don't get me wrong, the fight was good. Background was good. Magicula just popping up, I was not a huge fan of, and then the full fight turned into that. One good moment was Noelle finally saying "I love you" to Asta. That was good. That was good.
Yeah, it's like aww.
It was and Noelle as a character, again, she's an above average like shonen female, and this is an arc where it pays off, where she had the training. Once also like Gaja sacrificed himself and. He didn't really sacrifice himself.
Yeah, no, I knew he wasn't dead. I mean, that's another thing.
Welcome back.
Yeah, and we're back. There was no time for you. It was like 15 minutes for us. I ate a donut. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I had to go on break for some stuff that just happened off the phone. So we were in the middle talking about the Magicula fight. I thought her backstory with Aesir, is that how you say her mother's name?
Aesir, yeah. I mean, it's a word you read. Who knows how to pronounce it?
Yeah. So that stuff is interesting. God, how many people were fighting her? Real, Charlotte, Lux showed up, Gaja, Nozzle, Asta, like so many people showed up.
The water spirit.
The water Undyne, the water spirit.
Undyne, yeah.
We haven't seen the Earth Spirit yet, have we?
We haven't, no.
Yeah, probably final chapter stuff.
Yeah, probably final arc stuff.
I know for the people who were anticipating maybe hearing us talk about the Earth Spirit, it doesn't show up yet.
Yeah, lol.
But
can you imagine, dude? This is someone's only experience with Black Clover. It's just hearing our very scuffed recap of it and then our review of the last 100 chapters.
Yeah. But Mimosa also shows up, and I mean the fight is cool. The reason I don't want to get into it is just read the fight. Like the fight is a solid fight. It's it is good. And
especially on these longer form videos, we don't really have to do the fights. Whenever we're reading 20 chapters at a time, like we're normally going to be doing for book club, we can definitely dig into that.
Yeah, and now we can get into the worst of the 3 fights, being Xenon.
I'll agree with you, but Xenon is the most developed because he's the only one kind of given a backstory, and I like his backstory. I think he is handled very well.
The best Zogratis sibling has the worst fight with one of the worst characters.
And it's not his fault. It's because it's and Langris, and I like Langris enough, but I don't like how
Langris. Langris and Finral holding him off for a minute was pretty neat.
True, yeah. I like Langris. I like him enough. I think some of the ways he's handled has been confusing. If not for the Royal Selection arc, again, some really good stuff happening in Spade Kingdom. That's just it's just held back from what's happened before.
Exactly. No, it all ties back into once again 214 and before that, the issues plaguing Black Clover just hold back some of this stuff because the logic and some of the decision making just doesn't fit due to the previous.
And dude, I absolutely love the idea of like a disgraced former vice captain getting together with the current vice captain who's like down in the dumps. He's been through some stuff now.
Yeah,
he had a character moment. Wow. Kate and Trevor on mute for a second. We're gonna get a group. Wow.
What are we doing?
Okay, no, we're going on 3. All right, 3. Wow. Wow.
What are we doing?
Wow. Wow. Okay, thanks. That's enough. Goodbye, guys.
You're so welcome, Brandon.
True. That's so freaking true, bro.
That's so freaking awesome.
That's
Thank
so
you, Trevor.
True.
Hold on.
Okay.
Sorry for the minor interruption. I am here again.
Welcome back, Kyle. We appreciate you being here.
Yeah, it was gone for like a minute, but I just don't want it to interrupt.
I really feel like leaving that in the episode.
But I mean, you can. It doesn't matter to me.
Floundering, calling in Kate, only for you to immediately come back.
All right. But, no, Xenon's the best Zogratis character. We get some pretty cool backstory stuff with him, where he denies the power of the devil. He fights the devil, and then he comes to the conclusion that the only way to fight a devil is to become a devil, and then becomes one. Pretty simple, but for the lack of
pretty simple. Kyle, he is
Oh yeah, I had that note. Hold on, let me my exact note for it.
You gotta read the note.
My exact note said the dichotomy of Xenon and fist bumping.
Fist bumping or fish bumping? Because I heard fish bumping.
Fist bumping.
Okay.
Oh, also unlocked Saint Stage and Star Magic and his second Grimoire. And his Wind Magic is like Lix and Tashia's. And he has the new second Spade Grimoire. I already said that. Yeah, so just a lot more new stuff.
It's dumb and it's stupid, and Xenon deserved a better fight for the character that he is. I really liked Xenon's character. I think they did a great job with him.
Yeah, they just gave him the worst fight, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's because it's I mean, we hate
but I put a note saying like each of these 3 fights sort of show like it embodies what Black Clover sort of does. Like the first fight with Magna's being strong, like the weak can beat strong through just pre-planning intellect. That's Zora pretty much in a nutshell. Same with Magna there. Number 2, like just a ton of teamwork, like the Underwater Temple, a lot of the fights that happened during the Goombaning or the Elf Resurrection for You Godless Heathens. And then number 3 was Yuna's fight, where it's just sheer objective power wins the day, and it goes from the most interesting to like pretty interesting with teamwork to the least interesting fight just because of that.
Yeah, and Xenon was like a realistic. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I really liked his backstory. I liked the parallels between him and and being like, he had to make a hard decision. That is so. Really, the Spade Kingdom arc was good. And
it was.
Obviously, it had its downfalls, mainly around We hate here.
and just other for the before the arc holding it back. But I know we've been somewhat negative with it, but it was a good arc. I was shocked that I was engaged with Black Clover again. I thought after 214, like Cade and I think I mentioned this already in one of the episodes. Like Cade said, like, does it make everything that you've read like better? No, but it's a good arc in its own. But individually, it's good. In terms of the whole series, it's okay because of what's holding it back.
Yeah. And let's see. So Zenon is defeated. He has the bone.
Yeah, Zenon defeated. There's a lot that happens. I think I made too many notes here, but let me read through. So they had to fight against Morris, the diamond scientist. I think is who he is. They stopped a non-factor. They stopped the Qlifoth tree. What happens? So they save Yami.
We go back to Lion Mommy's fight, right?
We do. I don't know how many times I typed in Mare Leona defeats Ancient Demon. I think this is the third time I typed that in. But she finally beats it, and then we get the second underworld level opening. They end up stopping it, and
then like all the demons congregate and like
Asta,
become Lucifero.
They beat it, and then Lucifero shows up, and the Lucifero fight. What are your thoughts on that? Like literally Lucifer. It's essential, like it's equal to Lucifer, our Lucifer.
Yeah,
half.
Half. The ultimate devil. We haven't seen Beelzebub. We've seen Magicula be defeated, like pure magic. Pure. We've seen Magicula be defeated, not Beelzebub. This is like the first of the. What you think this is the second grand demon you see. Actually, the first, because Magicula, kind of is one, also kind of isn't. Nope. And we learn that later. I think with all of the devils, save for Lieb, I really think they hit with the character design.
Hold on, one thing I want to note: Xenon's contracted devil was Beelzebub. We didn't see the full Beelzebub yet, did we?
No. Yeah, we haven't seen him, but I mean, it's just, yeah.
Sorry, I just want to know.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Oh, but I agree. Like, all the devil designs, Black Clover's devil designs, I know we haven't really talked about designs, has pretty good visual designs, except for, like, Asta and Yuna's, because fuck those two in particular.
I was going to say, like, that's what makes Lieb's and Asta's Devil Union form so, like, intriguing. Like the guy can obviously do good character design, right?
Yeah.
So why didn't he?
One of the best parts of Black Clover being like power ups through physical, like almost clothing transformation. That's what I liked about it. Like when Charlotte transforms, she has like the rose thorn, like princess thing. Noelle's transformations, like the mermaid and the Valkyrie armor. Asta and Yuno's, while I don't like their designs, they still get like the physical clothing. Luck and wraps himself in lightning. It's like physically wearing your armor on your sleeve. And I think that's an interesting element with Black Clover's power up. And for the final fight with Lucifer, again, while I didn't really care for like the visual look of their Devil Union, still the fight was pretty okay in my opinion. Pretty good.
I mean, like we said earlier, I really, it just Asta's anti-magic just becomes I'm gonna slash you real good.
No, it becomes pure objective strength. Like no matter what they say, it's just he's really strong and hits really hard, and the enemy's number is half of infinity. It's so it doesn't know what they say, but it's like half of Lucifer himself, and he's just so strong. But the thing is, though, he didn't win it on his own. I'll give him that. It was still a huge team effort. Mainly the four being Asta, Yuno, Yami, and Noxt.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed I enjoyed all that.
Can we talk about Kids Playground? Not the literal.
Yeah. The
actual
domain expansion, Shadow Chimera Garden type beat. You know me.
Where their synergy, like unlike the synergy of Yami and Vengeances, that was just out of nowhere. Having it say like darkness, like darkness and shadows have that infinite synergy with them in order to make like a sort of domain expansion, and just trickle Lucifer for a bit. It was cool. I also liked Lucifer sort of being slowly dethroned as it went on. Like at first it was like, okay, y'all are ants. He gets his finger kind of like, ow, that really hurt. And he gets really mad. And then he loses a horn. He's like, all right, I acknowledge you. Therefore, I will go all out to kill you.
That was a sick moment when he was like, I acknowledge you. He's like, you guys could kill me. He said, like, that's why I'm not going to hold anything back. He said, you're dead.
You're dead. Your family's dead. Your friends are dead. Your relatives are dead. Like everyone.
Give me $200.
You're ugly. You're disgusting. I hate your devil union design. Give me $200.
So true.
Now I just need a picture of him holding his hand out with the little devil union in his palm.
So true.
But anyway, it was a good fight to cap off this arc. Until I heard it wasn't the finale of the series, I thought
I was a little bit disappointed because we were reading this thinking that this was the end of the series.
But I'm not gonna fault the series for it. Like,
that's definitely not the series' fault. So I was a little underwhelmed with it being like the last fight of the series. I thought it was fine. I was like, okay, this is cool, and all. But what you call it? I mean, knowing that it's not. I mean, it's a solid enough fight. I mean, it's far from the worst in the series.
Like, other than, obviously saying where they finally beat Lucifero and Asta chops him up, three things happened that I want to bring up. One, I typed the devil's name. It was Adramelech, which is the one that was sitting there watching Lucifero.
The twink.
So, the twink. We'll cover that. 2 and 3 are Asta and sort of meeting their mothers and us learning about their mothers. What are your thoughts on that?
I think Licita, is that? I'm just gonna refer to her as Asta's mom. What you call it?
That's what I've been saying. Yeah, Asta and Yuno's mom. I don't remember those bitches.
Asta's mom. Well, Yuno's a seal. I remember that. Seal Grand Burial. But Asta's mom. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, with the final arc, something might change. I would say that as of now, I wish they would have done more with it, as opposed to just saying, I had a kid, I had to give him up because I would have killed. I mean, it makes sense, but it feels kind of like a cop out, Is it necessarily bad? No, but it could be better, and then that's a lot of Black Clover.
It was one of those moments where they introduced it just enough to give Asta the motivation to come back against Lucifero. Like, you killed my mom, Lucifer. Time to die. And it was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I don't really feel strongly on meeting the mothers of them, but it helped them beat Lucifero, and through a huge team effort. Like, also, Lucifero is just innate magic to make people kneel at him. That was badass.
Yeah, that was sick. And with Yuno's, I mean, I want to say that I think it'll be interesting to see how they interact in the future, but I really don't have any hope that the author will put in that much effort to it.
I just don't care
about
Yuno.
You know us, we hate Yuno here, right?
We are where Yuno stands in the reverse direction. We hate Yuno.
Yeah.
We think he's a bad character.
Exactly. You could say that we hate Yuno. And
that's
just kind of thrown in there. This is obviously going into it with. I mean, I still feel like the ending of the arc as a whole is rushed. I'm not going to say that forgives it all, but I mean, whenever I was reading it, I was expecting it to be the end. So it definitely probably felt more rushed than it was. But I mean, I still feel like it was really rushed, and I think that's still a fair criticism to levy against it.
So to cap off our discussion before giving our general summaries of it again, chapter 331.
Yes, the reveal at the end. Magicula was not one of the big three. It was Astaroth, right? That's the name.
Prediction. I hope Astaroth has nothing to do with Asta and Asta gaining time magic. I really hope that's not the case.
I don't. It's like Astaroth. I don't know. It's another demon name. Like Beelzebub or Lucifero. I mean, it's spelled Astaroth, like Asta Roth. So yeah, it's of time magic, and Julius is actually. I hope not, dude. Now you have me scared. Now you have me scared, dude.
Julius being the fourth Zogratishan. Again, it makes sense now, but it doesn't excuse in the moment of writing where like none of this was revealed and it was just, oh yeah, I'm alive.
You could have foreshadowed it. That's what I'm saying. Like, you shouldn't have to read it and be like, well, yeah, I guess if he was Lucian Zogratis this entire time, he would have a backup plan like that. Like, that shouldn't be what it is. You should look back on it and be like, oh, so that's what that meant.
It should make you feel like, whoa, that's what that was, as compared to, okay, yeah, I guess that fixes that issue.
Yeah. And so, But Kyle, I really enjoyed the twist.
I did too.
I was like,
Putting aside
yo,
214.
this is sick. Because whenever I saw the judge guy walk in, I was like, oh, he's gonna be the Force of Gratis, and he's gonna like kidnap Julius or something. But then it went out. Well, I didn't expect. So they were like, Majikul was never a demon. It was Astaroth, and he was like the demon of time. And I was like, yo. And Julius was like, it's me, and I was like, yo, dude, it was cool. That was really cool.
We have the other half of Lucifero, so he could just come back. We have Beelzebub. Like Beelzebub, we had Xenon fight, but it wasn't like the Beelzebub.
Yeah,
and
it wasn't
we
these
now
Beelzebub.
have Astaroth, so I feel like the final fight's going to be against the other half of Lucifero, Beelzebub, and Astaroth.
Yeah, and man, so the thing is, and this is what I think is so interesting about it. It's like all those Gratises had their own magic, like what you call it, Xenon had bone magic, and Dante had body magic. I can't remember what Vanica's was, but then like they also have like their devil's magic.
Yeah, so they have 2 in 1. So what is
Astaroth's magic is time. That's what Julius is using.
So like
what is Lucian's? What is Lucian's magic?
Oh yeah, his real name's Lucian. Yeah, or Lucius. Sorry, what's Lucius?
Is it Lucius? Yeah, Lucius.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see.
It has to be something like,
Space,
like brain magic or something.
Let him control time and space. I think
because how did he disguise himself, and for like that long, and to like make up like the entire personality of Julius Novachrono?
Yeah, with the giant infinite book.
That closed, dude. That was a cool moment. When
the book
when the
did
infinite grimoire closed, that was a cool moment.
But yeah, that's I think that's sort of all on. Just we covered everything up to current Black Clover, so we're officially caught up. And again, even like the Spade Kingdom was a great arc. It's just that on its own, it's good, but when you put it in the context of Black Clover as a whole, I think if you gave this setup to other authors of similar manga writing, I think they could take it and do better and make it more interesting in a lot of areas. And I know that's easy enough to say. Like people are like, "Oh, you can't write it better." Yeah, I probably can at the moment, but I can think of a lot of ideas that would have worked better than what's currently involved in Black Clover right now. Like a lot of the payoffs just didn't work out as well as we thought. A lot of stuff prior to Spade Kingdom held it back. I think Black Clover on the whole is average, and in my opinion could change at the final arc. I think right now the beginning and ending are great, but a lot in the middle is just kind of a lot to slog through. So I think it all just balances out into a pretty average series.
Yeah, for the final arc, I mean, to say I have hope for it isn't true, because I mean 214 blew, like I just never expect anything from this series anymore, right?
No, like the problem is with 214 there is now no stakes. Like you know, obviously I'm not expecting like every main character to die. Again, it doesn't need to be a Chainsaw Man or Jujutsu Kaisen or anything of the sort like that. It doesn't,
Chainsaw Man, that's the other series. What you call it?
It doesn't.
I don't think we mentioned it, but
yeah, it doesn't need to kill off characters left and right to be interesting or compelling. You can like look at pre-time skip One Piece. It's really good, and it doesn't kill off its characters because of other elements to the story. With Black Clover, it has all of its stuff being like humongous, big, just life or death, and the fate of entire like our kingdom. We have to fight the devils, and whenever you are too scared to kill off characters, there's just no reason to get invested in seeing them succeed, because you know the outcome and you generally know how. You know that either they're going to team up together, or like, well, that's still interesting to see. The other boring one is like Asta, where it's just, I am much stronger than you, taste my blade, Kia, and then they cut them in half.
yeah, I mean,
Sorry,
Black Clover. No, you're good. I was just collecting my thoughts for my closing statement. I think the final arc has potential to be good. Do I expect it to be? No, not whatsoever. But the Spade Kingdom arc has shown that the author does have some basic writing abilities to some degree.
Yeah, and can go like above and beyond in a lot of areas.
Now, like we've said, this final arc could be another Shibuya, or it could be a staple Shonen arc, what you call it. And the rest of Black Clover would still hold it back. I mean, like we've discussed with the Spade Kingdom, and that the worst part about the Spade Kingdom is all of Black Clover before it, holding it back.
Yeah.
Spade Kingdom be so good when you ain't got the rest of Black Clover in your ear telling you that it exists.
Yeah, like I said it already, in its own bubble of sorts, it's a great arc. But when you put like it into the rest of the puzzle of Black Clover and just fit it in there, and you have everything else surrounding it, it's like, oh, this is cool, but Chapter 214 exists, or this is great, but stuff from this arc happened, or Asta and have character growth, but it's the first time there's any meaningful growth to them, and it's 250 chapters or about, like, close to that. I think Yuno's was like chapter 240-ish range where he finally had some growth, and then Asta's was like 260 where he was just crying to Nox. Like, it was the first time we saw them be vulnerable. And think about it for a weekly shonen. That's like 4 or 5 years of weekly releases until something is done with these characters to make them interesting.
Yeah.
Or enough to follow along their journey.
And it's just because Black Clover had a lot of potential, and I feel like Spade, Undersea Temple too, we really like that arc, but Spade Kingdom is kind of the first to capitalize on a lot of the potential initially proved.
Again, there does exist great characters. Yami and Charlotte, I think, for example, are great. Zora, Nash, Lion Mommy.
I love Lion Mommy.
Luck, Magna, a lot of the Black Bulls, other side characters like Mimosa. It has good characters, but I honestly think for every, like, if you sat down and looked at every element of the series, for every one good element, you could find the inverse of that. And for every bad element, you could also find an inverse. We're not just trying to belligerently hate on it and just to piss people off. I think the reason I get so passionately mad at it is just because of, like, there's so much potential there that could just be elevated if the author didn't just take the easy way out at a lot of times.
Yeah.
So that's all I have to say on it. I'll give it a solid average to around aggressively average.
I will give it a solid, I don't know. Okay, Trevor Cade, come on in. Our esteemed guest. They're still here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you are.
Yes. What is
So,
needed?
if you had to give
All right.
Black Clover a rating of 0 to 10, what would you rate it?
Trevor, you go first.
Wait, Kyle, what did you say?
On a
All right,
scale
good
of
rating. Cade, your turn.
0 to 10.
0 to 10.
You already gave
Yeah.
your answer, Trevor. Cade, it's your turn.
Okay, well, I mean, like, there are bits and pieces that are absolute trash and unredeemable
Yeah.
at
Fair,
times.
good opinion.
So, a solid 3. There are some good parts in the beginning, but unredeemable is unredeemable, except for the good parts in the beginning.
Yeah.
True,
fair
that's
enough.
true.
Cade, what's your ranking? 0 being like just the worst thing you've ever read, 10 being like peak fiction.
Dang it, you already stole the joke. I was gonna say 10 out of 10 peak fiction, but
Sure, you cannot hide it.
I guess it'd be to give a more genuine answer. I'd say, like, just from, like, hearing you guys describe it to me, it's a solid 4. I wouldn't give it much higher than a 4.
I'll give it maybe like a 6 to 6.5. Like, okay, with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, like maybe around like a 5 or 6. Sorry, I was just I
Forgot how to count for a second there, didn't you?
no, I
Dude had to go back through the alphabet, bro.
For some reason I thought I said 1 out of 10, but I remembered I said 0 out of 10. That's my bad. But I'd give it like a solid 5 to 6, like just somewhere in the average, because it could be one of the better chapters you read in a manga, or just one of the worser chapters you've read. It honestly can just go either way.
I'm gonna give it a 4.5 to a 5 because
it
definitely has its good moments, and it definitely has its terrible moments, and I feel like the two average out to about 4.5 out of 5 to 5.
Yeah,
I mean, if you remember, after 214, I would have rated the series a 1. Spade Kingdom was able to bring it back up to that.
can be a 4, could be a 6, could also just be a 1 at some points. It's all right. I don't get what the overhyping is for it. I genuinely want to look at some people's comments and praises for it and just see why. I'm curious now.
Yeah, and what you call it? I mean, obviously our opinion is correct, but if you have another opinion, then it's incorrect, and we hate.
Please share it with us.
No, don't. We hate you. We don't want to hear your opinions. They're trash and they're awful.
Yeah, if your opinion is any different, you should dislike the video and give us the engagement.
No,
Yeah.
you should do.
Fair.
You
If
should.
they dislike the video, then that's warranted. Yeah, please,
Here,
if
hold
you
on,
share
hold on.
opinions, do not talk to us. Dislike the video. Brandon, end the episode.